this, it is to establish our sincerity and commitment to keep the covenant that was given to our ancestors. And we want to reinstate that covenant. And that covenant promised us a land. And this is not, America is not our land. Don't let nobody say we always here. Dark people was all over the world, but what nation were these dark people from? There'd be many nations, everybody dark didn't come out of the same nation. So we have to understand, we who came into slavery dispersed people all over this planet. And therefore, we who came here as slaves, we weren't here until they brought us here as slaves. Those that went into the Caribbean or island, the harshest part of slavery came into America. You understand? I mean, you go down into certain parts, I've met people that say they weren't enslaved, but they were taken from the continent of Africa. But when you talk about the slavery in America, it was rough. It was rough. I mean, hey, the biggest joy was doing what they could do to us. And I'm saying to you is that we have to keep that in mind. We're saying that we want our identity that is exclusive to giving us a true understanding of ourselves. When they talk about dark people, we talk about, well, what nation did they come out of? You understand? They tell you, well, they took it from everybody. But when we read the Torah said that the flock of Yahweh went into captivity. And they all was removed off the continent of Africa. The greatest number of them was removed. So we're looking for a disbursement of a whole nation of people that does no longer exist in that same number that they once were, because they was dispersed throughout the world. So when people start holding up their hand and you see that they're still in that land and their nationality is still, it's not talking about them. It's talking about a disbursement of a people that came out of a particular land that was given, and that they were totally conquered, and evidently they were in Jerusalem. And that's why it said, and Jerusalem shall be trodden underfoot. And it is, until a fulfillment of that time. And those people that land belongs to. And he said that all nations went in there and took a part and built in there. And that land is going to vomit them all out of there, because it's not their land. It belongs to a people. The Romans went up there, and it tells you. You can go and get that book, how they went, 17 A.D. And you see the big menorah that they was carrying out of the temple. Where's that menorah at? So somebody has the records of who these people are. You understand? Because they went up there, because the last two tribes that was there was Benjamin and Judah. What happened to the other 10 tribes? They were just scattered all over the world. They left. And they were a nation of people, not a religion. Was no religion, was a nationality. So we have to keep that in mind. So when people say, well, black people was all, yeah, we're not saying in color they were there. But what nationality? If you say I'm a Moor, is Moor a nationality? What is it? We want to know. That's how we are able to understand. We're not saying that people of dark skin didn't rule the world. What nationality did they were? What people? So, and that's how we can discern. Because the people that came into America, if you're saying they were a mixture of all people, and these people cannot be defined, we're defining these people under the description of Torah. And Torah said they would come into captivity. So and he talked of the tribe of Judah. So we know their description. And we know that those that came here, I'm not saying that there might not have been one or two or three that was picked up. But we're talking about those that were a nation of people that came into a country that is described in Deuteronomy chapter 28, and told them if you broke the law, you would be cursed. If you kept the law, you would be blessed. And when you go in there, it don't fit nobody but us. So, let us say our prayer and ask Yahweh to deliver us back into the land that our covenant was made. And like I said, you got to ask Yahweh. That's why you read the Bible. You read the Bible to understand, is it yours? Is it his? You understand? We're Israel. So we must ask Yahweh God for what belongs to us. You understand? And how do we do that? By keeping the Torah. Yahweh Allah Hayama.
Yahweh Allah Hayama.
Yahweh Allah Hayama. Yahweh Allah Hayama. Yahweh Allah Hayama. Yahweh Allah Hayama. Yahweh Allah Hayama. Yahweh Allah Hayama. Yahweh God, we thank you for this day, as all days. We thank you for one day to another as they pass and as they come. Yahweh God, we thank you for the very air, for the very water, for the very rain, for the very food, for the very remnant, for the very heartbeat. Yahweh God, we thank you for all things, because you are in control of it all. Yahweh God, those that do not seek you, they seek the wrong path. But we seek you, Yahweh God, that we may walk through the straight and narrow path, that we might love you with all our mind, with all our body, with all our might. Yahweh God, who is God, for there is none other than thee. May we love you with a perfect love. May we return back to our land in the time that you have so prescribed. May we keep that Torah, and may your spirit be upon us. Shama'a, Shallah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Akhada, Yagadallah, Yahweh, Yagadallah, Allah Hayama, Erwaka, Allah Hayama, Ashura, La'a, Yisayura, Palataya, Makhasadawa, Wataya, Yatisra, Samawaka, Atisra, Shalawama, Kaya, Baka, Bata, Waka, Bata, Hawa, Bayahawaha, Adaya, Adda, Kaya, Bayaha, Yahawaha, Tiswara, Apwalayama. Kaya, La'a, Khasha, Bayakaba, Wala'a, Walasama, Mayashara, Allah. Kaya, Shamasha, Bawagana, Yahweh, Allah Hayama. May Yahweh bless us, L'Shabbata, Atniga, Quadwasha, Yahweh, Makabada, Amana.